Canada's 2023 wildfires emitted more carbon than the annual fossil fuel emissions of all nations except China, the US, and India. Oceanic and cryospheric changes. In March 2023, Antarctic sea ice extent reached its lowest in the 45 years satellite record, over 5 lakh kilometers square below the previous record. So global ocean surface temperatures remained at unprecedented high levels every day since mid-March 2023, raising concerns about the marine ecosystems. So what are the intensified storms and hurricanes? Became the earliest Category 5 storm on record in the Atlantic in July 2024, breaking records for rapid intensification and overall strength. Climate change increased wind speeds in all 11 Atlantic hurricanes in 2024, intensifying their impact. Agricultural and water stress. Over 50% of freshwater lakes and reservoirs lost volume from 1992 to 2020, affecting water availability for agriculture and human consumption. Global warming exacerbates water shortages in already water-stressed regions, increasing the risk of agricultural droughts affecting the crops. How it has affected the mental health impacts are climate change is increasingly affecting mental health, particularly among young people. Studies show that 20% of US youth aged 16 to 24 fear having children due to climate concerns. These developments underscore the urgent need for comprehensive climate action to mitigate global warming impacts and adapt to ongoing
general awareness there.
So before the conclusion, I want to show a video to you all.
Global warming is the steady rise in warming of the Earth's surface due to the increased level of carbon dioxide gas in the environment. It increases the gradual permanent changes in the Earth's climate, and so affecting the nature's balance. Increase in CO2 level on the Earth affects the human life to a great level through continued heat waves, unpredictable occurrences, strong storms, unexpected cyclones, depreciation to ozone, floods, heavy rain, lack of food, diseases. It has been researched that increasing emissions of CO2 in the atmosphere is because of the non-stop burning of fossil fuels, fertilizer changes, cutting corners, extra use of electricity, gases used in refrigerators, air coolers, etc. The vastly increasing levels of CO2 results from the greenhouse effect. It is the rising temperature that the Earth experiences because all greenhouse gases trap energy from the sun. These gases are water vapor, CO2, methane, and ozone. Sunlight enters the Earth's atmosphere, passing through the blanket of greenhouse gases. The Earth's surface grasps or absorbs the sunlight's energy. Once absorbed, this energy is returned back into the atmosphere. Some of the energy passes back into space, but most of it remains in the atmosphere by the greenhouse gases, causing our world to heat up. Without the greenhouse effect, our Earth wouldn't be warm enough for humans to live. But if the greenhouse effect becomes stronger, it could make our Earth warmer than usual. Even a little additional or extra warming causes an increase in the temperature of the Earth's surface and leads to global warming. So, in order to stop the deadly effects of global warming, everyone should take these simple initiatives. Stop deforestation, decrease the use of electricity, stop unnecessary burning of wood, etc. By being just a little more mindful, we can all play our role in combating global warming. These easy steps will help preserve the planet for future generations.
So coming to the conclusion, energy conservation is a key to combat global warming. Everyone can help save energy, support clean energy policies, educate others. Quote given by Wendell Berry, "The earth is what we all have in common." Thank you.
Thank you, Natalia and Divya, for informative and well-delivered presentation.
The next speaker.
So now I'd like to call Shruti to present the presentation.
Only your presentation. Can you call her? She doesn't want to? She'll not get the certificate and the prize. Only you are there? Alone? Okay, done.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Shruti. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shruti Mane of 4th Sem BBA. Today I'm going to talk about something that affects each and every one of us: global warming and energy conservation. My presentation is titled "Energy Conservation and Global Warming: A Climate Emergency." Because that's exactly what it is, an emergency. Because as the slide says, there's no planet B. What is global warming? So as we all know, that's a basic thing we all know, that is global warming is a gradually raise in Earth's temperature caused mainly by human actions, activities like burning fossil fuels and cutting down forests trap heat in our atmosphere through greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane. This isn't just science, it's a reality we all are experiencing. And next slide is about the causes and effects. Let's break it down. Causes. Causes has green gases, deforestation, industrial emissions, excessive energy consumption of non.
Boys, if you're not interested, you can walk out, please.
And moving to the effects, it affects our extreme weather, heat waves, floods, wildfire, raising sea levels, health issue due to pollution, and impact on biodiversity and food security. And next slide is real life climate changes. As we all know, Delhi's increasing heat index or Mumbai's rising flood risk, frequent power outage due to heat waves, irregular roads affecting crops. And next is, as you all can see on the screen, this is the graphical presentation of temperatures and pollution rates in India. It is between the year 2015 and 2025. In 2015, it was around the value of 150 and 200, but as in within the 10 years, it has increased to above 250, so it is double the pollution. So we have to take and serious action regarding this. And next slide is about what is energy conservation. Energy conservation means using energy wisely and avoiding waste. It's not just about saving electricity, it's about saving the planet. Turning off unused lights, choosing public transport, and switching to efficient appliances are small acts with big impacts. And next slides are about the heroes and villains that companies place in our country and also in the whole world. So now, who's helping and who's hurting? Villains like ExxonMobil, Shell, and Volkswagen continue to profit at the planet's expenses. But there's a hope. Heroes like Tesla, Google, Apple, and IKEA are investing in clean energy and providing that sustainability and success can go hand in hand. It's time we support businesses that support our planet and not harm our planet. And next slide is the innovative ideas to avoid global warming. So change starts with us. Walk or cycle when you can, plant trees, buy less plastic, educate others about this topic, use energy efficient appliances. When millions of people make small changes, the results are massive. And imagine a country like India where there is a population of crores and millions. If we all make small changes, we can make a big impact to our country and also for the whole world. So now I'd like to end my presentation with, if we don't act now, there may be no tomorrow. Conserve energy, fight global warming. Thank you. Next, I would like to call upon stage Hamza to present. Hi everyone, I am Hamza from first year BCE. So today I am talking about the most important topic of our time, energy conservation. Let's explore how we can power the future through improving the efficiency and making a smarter choice and innovative solution. Okay guys, have you ever wondered what would have happened if the electricity which we use in every day to day all of a sudden stopped? Not for an hour, but forever. It's beyond our imagination, right? So, energy conservation is not just important, it is important for our survival. Energy you save today is the energy or the power you secure for your tomorrow. What is energy conservation? Let me make it so precise. Energy conservation is nothing but reduce energy use by improving efficiency and cutting the waste. It is not just a smart habit, it is essential for protecting the environment, cutting the costs, and ensuring your future generation have all the resources they need. Now let us see the current energy scenario. Globally, the energy demand is rising. Most of the demands are still met by the non-renewable resources like coal, oil, and gases, which are not only limited but also harmful to our environment. Most importantly, energy conservation helps us to achieve and fight against the climate changes and ensures that we have reduced the dependency on the imported fuels. Now let's see. So why is it more important to energy conservation? So guys, environmental benefits, because why we need to conserve our energy is because it reduces the carbon emission, which is very harmful for the living beings, and also it helps us to lower the electricity bills, which is very important for us, and also it reduces us to depend more upon the fossil fuels. And finally, in the future, so since we are wasting more of our energies in different ways, our future may get affected through this. By the energy conservation, we can give our next generation to inherit a livable planet. Let's see what are all the measures and ideas that we can use in our daily lives to conserve the energy, not only in our daily lives but also technically. Coming to the daily life tips. So even a small change in our daily lives can have a big impact. We can use LED lights instead of using the light which conserve more energy. And also we can turn off the unused appliances and devices that also conserve our energy, and prefer public transportation, carpools, so that it helps in transportation and where we don't waste much of our energy. And also, the most important thing, where we can maximize the natural lights instead of using the temporary lights. We could use the natural lights by designing in our homes. So this is how we could conserve the energy in our homes. Now coming to the technological innovation where we can conserve our energy is one thing, smart grids and meters, and IoT based automation and green buildings where we build the buildings that conserve the energy naturally. And electric vehicles. Nowadays, you guys know there are so many electric vehicles. Even government have to give us so many electric buses. So that is also the one thing which conserves the energy in technical way. So the government plays a major role in energy conservation. It has promoted many events and it takes more initiatives by giving the schemes like Ujala, LED lights distribution, ECBC, building code efficient, enforcement efficiency, and the schemes like PATA and EESL helps the industries and the citizens alike save energy in a massive scale. So, let us have a case study. Here is an impressive example for the energy conservation, that is Cochin International Airport. This is the world's first fully solar powered airport, where it now produces more energy than it consumes. It is saving around 48,000 units of electricity every single day. So this now stands as a role model for the nationwide clean energy transition. So, being the youth, being the innovators, we can have energy conservation by so many things, that is startups. Since we are so many people here are maybe our startups in future. So they can concentrate on creating a green tech and creating energy apps and campus audits. See to that in your campus when you are going out of your class, see to that every switches is off when you are not using it. And third thing, smart energy clubs. The way how we are promoting the awareness in the coming to college side or in the schools, we'll have a competition, our awareness programs like street play, promoting awareness among the people and even among the students. That is done under the smart energy clubs and change makers. Since we youth should not consider it just as a habit, but we should take it as an opportunity to show our innovations. That's the way now how we are showing our innovation through our PPT. So this should be an example for our future students to create awareness why energy conservation is so important. So, to conclude with, conserving energy is conserving your future. So, since we are all the change makers, who the people will make the power for the whole world, not much consume, but concise the conservation. Thank you.
The center? No. Which part? Which class of this part? We just call the next team.
Thank you, Hamza, for your wonderful presentation. Now I'd like to call upon stage Zaiba and Sadia.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sadia from the second semester.
I'm Zaiba from PPT.
Today we are presenting on global warming and energy conservation. Global warming refers to the long-term increase in Earth's average surface temperature due to the buildup of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and in the atmosphere. These gases trap heat from the sun, causing the planet to warm up. This warming leads to severe environmental impacts such as rising sea levels, extreme weather, melting glaciers, and destruction of ecosystems. Since when we are facing global warming? The phenomenon began with the onset of the Industrial Revolution in the late 18th century, around the 1750s, when humans started burning large amounts of fossil fuels, coal, oil, gas. However, the effects became more noticeable and scientifically confirmed from the 1950s onwards, with rapid increase in the carbon emission and global temperature, especially after 1980. Contribution of global warming from India is currently the third largest emitter of greenhouse gases in the world after China and USA. This is due to its reliance on coal for electricity, industrial activities, and increasing use of vehicles. The concept of global warming was first scientifically proposed by a Swedish scientist in 1896. He was the first to suggest that the burning fossil fuels could increase the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and cause the Earth's temperature to rise, what we all call now is greenhouse effect. However, the modern understanding and global awareness of global warming began to grow in the mid-20th century. In the 1950s, American scientist Charles David Keeling began measuring carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere. This data, known as the Keeling curve, clearly showed rising CO2 level over time, confirming the connection between human activity and climate change. What is the contribution of households in global warming? Households contribute to global warming through various everyday activities that release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. The use of electricity generated from fossil fuels such as coal and natural gas is one of the major contributors, as it powers lights, appliances, and electronic devices. The burning of cooking fuels like LPG, kerosene, and wood in inefficient stoves also emits carbon dioxide and methane. Personal vehicles running on petrol or diesel add to air pollution and greenhouse gas emission. Additionally, improper waste disposal, especially the dumping of organic waste without composting, leads to the release of methane from landfills. Even the excessive use of air conditioners and refrigerators can leak HFCs, which are potent greenhouse gases. How the industries contributing in global warming? Industries in India are a major source of global warming due to their heavy reliance on fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and natural gas for energy production. Sectors like power generation, steel, cement, textiles, and chemical emit large quantities of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases during manufacturing processes. Industrial activity is often involve the burning of fuels in boilers, furnaces, and machinery, releasing not only CO2 but also methane and nitrous oxide. Additionally, many factories lack modern pollution control equipment, leading to higher emissions. The rapid industrial growth in India, often without strict environmental regulations or efficient energy use, has further increased the carbon footprint. Improper disposal of industrial waste and the release of harmful gases CFCs in some sectors also contribute to the global warming. Therefore, industrial emissions remain one of the key causes of climate change.
Now I'll be talking about energy conservation. Energy conservation refers to the efforts made to reduce energy consumption by using less energy and eliminating unnecessary use. It includes both behavior changes and use of energy efficient technologies to reduce waste and improve energy use efficiency. Causes for the need of energy conservation. So depletion of natural resources like fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas, which will deplete, and environmental impact. The energy production often releases greenhouse gases contributing to global warming. And increasing demand, rapid industrialization and population growth drive higher energy consumption. So measures of energy conservation at home for households is switching off unused lights and appliances and using energy efficient appliances. Example like LED bulbs and inverters, ACs. And in transportation, we can use carpooling or using public transport or using electric bikes or vehicles. And industries using energy management systems, recycling waste heat, and upgrading to high efficiency machinery. In agriculture, using solar powered irrigation, reducing use of diesel pumps. taken measures to reduce the global warming by energy conservation by this National Alliance Plan on Climate Change and Ujala scheme and International Solar Alliance and perform achieve and trade scheme, faster adoption of electric vehicles and afforestation and renewable push. And so in 90s there was like depletion of ozone layer. So they started a protocol called Moratorium Protocol in 1989, and it was the first United Nations treaty in global history of every country signed it. Over 198 members of every country signed this treaty because of CFCs, the ozone layer was depleting. So all the country got together and signed the treaty to reduce this, and they replaced CFCs by HFCs. So by this we can conclude that if government and world fight about the world's problem unitedly, then solution can be found very soon.
Thank you, Zaiba and Sazia. Now I would like to call upon Prajwal.
Good afternoon, Shubha ma'am and Sneha ma'am. Good afternoon, all my friends present here. Like everyone, I am going to talk about this basic definition called global warming. Global warming refers to the long-term rise in Earth's average temperature, primarily caused by increased levels of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. These gases, like carbon dioxide and methane, trap heat from the sun, leading to a warming effect. While often used interchangeably with climatic change, global warming specifically focuses on temperature increase, whereas climate change encompasses broader changes in weather patterns and climate. How does the conservation of energy relate to global warming? Conserving energy and maximizing efficiency means less strain on electricity grids, and fewer greenhouse gas emissions. Global warming, primarily driven by greenhouse gases emissions from burning fossil fuels, necessitates energy conservation and transition to renewable energy sources to mitigate climatic change. Global warming is a major environmental challenge, and energy conservation is one of the key strategies to address it. By reducing energy consumption, we can lower greenhouse gas emissions, which in turn helps to slow down the rate of global warming. Energy conservation also contribute to a more sustainable and resilient energy system, ensuring energy availability for future generations. Global warming causes burning down the fossil fuels and heat produced by burning fossil fuels causes a large chunk of global emissions. Generating power in turn also it fosters the development of ecosystem and environment. And manufacturing goods and industry, like industrial items which produce emissions mostly from burning fossil fuels for making things like cement, electronics items, iron, steel, etc. Cutting down trees causes emissions. When trees are cut, they release carbon and which they are storing. Using transportation, most of the cars, ships, planes, fossil fuels which make transportation a major contribution of greenhouse gases. Producing food requires energy to run from equipments such as farm equipments or fishing boats, usually with the help of fossil fuels. Powering buildings. Globally, residential and commercial building consume over half all electricity, which is produced by burning fossil fuels. Merits of global warming. Improved agriculture, warmer temperatures and longer growing sessions in high latitude areas could potentially increase agricultural productivity. Fewer cold related deaths. Warmer winters could lead to fewer deaths from forced flight and hypothermia, especially in areas with severe winters. Increased vegetation, warmer temperatures and increased carbon dioxide levels could stimulate plant growth, potentially leading to a greener planet. Rising sea levels, melting glaciers and ice sheets due to warming temperatures contribute to rising levels, threatening coastal communities and ecosystem. Extreme weather events, global warming is linked to an increase in the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events such as hurricanes, floods and droughts. Disruptions to ecosystem. Changes in temperature and precipitation patterns can disrupt ecosystem, leading to the loss of biodiversity and species
Are
extinction.
these merits?
Merits, ma'am. Advantages. This
Second
one.
part
Merits,
of it,
merits of global.
Hurricane is a merit?
I don't like.
The second part, these are demerits. We have.
This one, thank you. Demerits of global warming. Disadvantages. Rising sea levels. Global warming causes glaciers and ice sheets to melt and sea water to expand its forms, leading to the rise sea levels. Extreme weather events. Global warming can intensify heat waves, droughts, floods, and wildfires, causing significant damage and human suffering. Impacts on human health. Extreme weather events can lead to death and illness from heat storms and floods. Impacts on ecosystem. Global warming can cause shifts in species distribution and habitat loss, threatening biodiversity. Economic impacts. Extreme weather events can cause billions of dollars in damage to infrastructure, agriculture, and other sectors. How energy conservation can help global warming? Energy conservation can significantly help global warming by reducing our reliance on fossil fuels and the resulting greenhouse gas emissions. By using energy more efficiently and adopting sustainable practices, we can minimize the environmental impact of our energy consumption, thereby mitigating climate change. Some of them are reduced fossil fuel consumption, lower greenhouse gas emissions, improved air quality, cost savings, promotion of renewable energy, technological advancements. At last, coming to conclusion, global warming driven by human activities like fossil fuels use is causing significant climate change with far-reaching environmental and societal impacts. Energy conservation is a crucial strategy for mitigating these effects. Alongside a transition to renewable energy sources, by reducing our energy consumption and adopting cleaner energy solutions, we can significantly lessen our carbon footprint and work towards a more sustainable future. The end.
Good try.
Thank you, Kajima.
Call on the next team. Shruti.
Now, I would like to call upon the next presenters, Kirtana and Vinodini.
And the last two teams we have, right?
You can connect to the WhatsApp. It is there in the laptop, no?
Sophia and Isra.
Who are the other names?
Selvankar will be the next one. And next, Sufyan and Isra from second and third, both the teams. Start with introduction.
Myself Vinodini Nihar and she is Kirtana from second sem BCom Accounts and Finance. can be destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another. For example, in a room heater, electric energy can be converted to thermal energy. Types of energies are energy can be broadly divided into two categories: renewable and non-renewable energy. Renewable energy can be generated continuously, particularly without decay of source. For example, like solar, wind. Non-renewable energy. Non-renewable energy cannot be generated again and again from the same source. For example, petroleum products, coal. Differential between renewable and non-renewable source of energy. Renewable. These resources are renewable by nature in a short span of time. Often these are available continuously, like solar energy, water, etc. Renewable source can be divided into continuous or non-renewable. These resources may not be renewable by nature or take a very long geological time to be formed again. These resources are extracted after use. For example, non-renewable source can be recyclable or non-recyclable.
So, energy conservation means to conserve energy for future consumption. So, move back to the first efforts made to conserve energy for the future consumption. So, why is there need to conserve the energy? We have limited fuels available on the earth, and our demand is increasing day to day. As we can see, the demand increases our demand is increasing by day to day, and it is possible that someday, one or the other day, we will get the shortage of some energy. And for the future consumption, we need to save from today itself. Energy in India, some acts and bills they have passed. So energy conservation in India. In India, the government has passed energy conservation bill for better utilization of energy and conservation of the same. By this act, by mandatory intensive sectors to get the energy audit mandated by the energy auditor. And Bureau of Energy Efficiency, this body consists consumption the energy and develops norms for appliances. And the star ratings on the appliances such as refrigerators and iron, on the all appliances, on the electrical appliances, indicates the energy consumed by this. So, tips to save energy at home. Basically, in home, we think that we don't concern about the energy. Such as turn off the lights when not in use, unplug the devices when not in use, and the smart devices, automated devices. Use a smart meter to track the usage, sealing the leaks with oil and conducting energy on soil, identify stress of waste, push the village on, uses solar power devices. So recycling is the excellent way to save the energy for the future use and conserving the environment. So you know that one recycled bin saves most use to television, 3 hours, and one recycled bottle saves energy to power its computer for 25 minutes. One recycled plastic bottle saves energy to power 60-watt light bulb for 50 hours. 70% less energy is required to recycle power vapor, making it to raw material. So the only way to conserve energy is reuse, reduce, and
Thank you, Ethan. Now we'd like to call upon Silvakar on the stage.
Good morning, one and all present here. Myself, good afternoon, one and all present here. Myself, Selva, and I am going to talk about something which is invisible and which we will use in our daily lives. It is not only about using less AC or offing the switches when you leave home. We should change our lives and
Don't distract.
we should change our lives by using less electricity. Imagine there is a world without power, without energy, without mobile charger, without data.
This also matters for president. Leave it in madam's card. He gave me
Imagine there is a world without no energy, no power, no lights, no mobile data, and no chargers. There are millions of around us where developed countries are using less energy and saving their electricity.
A very good afternoon, present here. I'm presented here. Myself, Gaurav from PPT. Today we are going to presentation on global warming, energy conservation. Energy conservation refers to the practice of using energy by improving efficiency and reducing weight. It involves both behavior changes and technological improvements to save energy and reduce environmental impact. Why energy conservation is important? Reduces environmental pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. Saves money on electricity and fuel fuels. Preserve natural gas resources like coal, oil, and gas. Promote sustainability for future generations.
Some real life examples. Instead of using in home trending bulbs and new bulbs, we can use LED bulbs which will cost us less electricity bill and less conservation. And next is transportations, which we will use petrol vehicles which will lead to petrol charges and even economic damage, so we can use electric vehicles. Industries waste heat recovery. Some of the factories will leave the waste as it will damage the nature, but some factories are there where they will convert the heat energy into electricity energy. Renewable energy at home. Many of the cities like Tamil Nadu and Gujarat have started solar panels to construct on the home top, and where they will not depend on some electrical damages. What steps should we take? At home, we should switch to LED bulbs. And in transportation, instead of using petrol vehicles or electrical vehicles, you can use public transport. And next is for industries. Perform energy audits, identify energy wastage areas, and we can essentially use it.
Global warming. Global warming is the gradual increase in the Earth's average temperature, primarily caused by the accumulation of greenhouse gases. GSTC in the atmosphere due to human activities. As usual, all of them know why the global warming is increasing in Earth, like increasing of CO2 gases in the high level of the Earth. So that's why human beings are in danger by the increasing of the global warming. And these gases trap heat from the sun, preventing it from escaping back into space, a phenomenon known as a greenhouse effect. Over time, this leads to a warming of the planet. By the global warming, the increasing temperature, in summer it will increase more, and in cold it will be changes of the temperature and the climate. By this, the global warming is affected.
Man-made causes of global warming. Burning of fossil fuels is one of the most causes of global warming, where humans will produce unnecessary fossil fuels and vehicles will remove carbon dioxide. Deforestation, cutting down of trees will lead to damage of carbon dioxide, and industrial emissions, which will release chemical, and it affects methane and nitroxide. And agriculture and farming, livestock, cow and sheep where we will farm will lead methane gas, and overuse of chemical fertilizers in the land will cause nitrous oxide, Paddy fields and more farming will produce methane. Transportation, cars, trucks, ships and vehicles will come out with carbon dioxide and other pollutants air. Overuse of energy. We will use more energy which will lead to man-made causes.
Natural causes, volcanic eruptions, volcanic release carbon dioxide and CO2 gas into the atmosphere. Volcanic eruption which releases the CO2 gases. CO2 adds to greenhouse gases which can temporarily cool the earth by blocking sunlight. Example, the eruption of mountain Pinatubo in 1991 slightly cooled the earth for the short period. Solar radiations. The sun energy output is not constant charges in solar activity affects earth temperature. More solar radiation is equals more warming. The more solar radiation is equals to the more warming. These cycles roughly even 11 years. Ocean currents. Changes in ocean circulations like El Nino and La Nina can affect global temperatures. Like changes in ocean circulation like El Nino and La Nina, it affects the global temperatures. And El Nino causes warming with La Nina leads to the cooling with many regions. Earth's orbital changes, Milankovic cycles. The Earth's orbit will change over thousands of years. The Earth orbit can change more to the thousands of years. These changes affect the amount and distribution of sunlight, which can lead to the natural warming and cooling. Natural greenhouse and gas emissions. Wetlands, termites and oceans naturally release methane and carbon dioxide. Like greenhouse gases emissions which release the wetlands, carbon dioxide, methane, etc. These sources existed long before humans but are small compared to the today's man-made emissions.
And effects of global warming. Rising global temperatures where Earth get very heat. After Earth is getting very heat, obviously the ice mountains in the Arctic and Antarctica will melt, where it will lead to floods in many villages and it will lead to also forests, where in the forests wildlife animals will get damaged and will get injured, and spread of diseases in the village, where it will cause mosquito-borne diseases and water and food shortages. If the drought is happening in the village, there is no supply of water. There is no supply of water in the villages. It will cost us less food production and impact on human life. If the food is not correctly produced in the farm and the water supply is not there, obviously it will affect the human's health. And the stats of global warming over the few years. When we see before 1950, it is like global warming is very less, but after 1950, our global warming is recorded from 2018 to 2021 as the sixth highest record in the world. Where this is taken by the NASA.
On conclusion, many people talk about taking action on global warming and energy conservation, but implementation is often less. To control global warming caused by human activities like burning fossil fuels and deforestation, is leading to rising temperatures and extreme weather. Energy conservation is the key to slowing this down by using energy more effectively, switching to renewable energy sources and reducing waste. We can lower greenhouse gases emissions and help fight climate changes.
So I will show one video. Thank you.
Good try. Call us the next team.
Thank you, Salman and Gaurav. Now I would like to call Sufyan and
Last team, right?
Just a minute, one. They sent it now, so it's getting downloaded. It's already done.
Start.
Good afternoon. Myself, Mohammed Sufyan from Second City. Our topic is about energy conservation and global warming. I can take the overview. This presentation explores the better link between saving energy and reducing global warming. We dive into causes, strategies, real-life examples, and your role in changes. The science of global warming, causes and impact visualized. Greenhouse gas emission, CO2 and methane trap heat, rising earth temperature. Rising temperatures, global average temperature have increased by 1.2 Celsius since 1880. Extreme weather, more frequently strong heat waves and drought warming. Energy conservation strategies for individual actions and global warming. Personal actions, switching LED bulbs, using smart thermostats, reducing car tapes and wastage. Global policies, renewable energy initiative, carbon policies and emission caps, international climate agreement.
Good afternoon. Myself here is Dr. Second City. Real life success stories. Communities are reducing their greenhouse
Can you be a little louder, please? I'm not able to hear. We are not able to hear now.
rebuild sustainable after the trauma. This one is using 100% renewable energy. Platforms earmark leading cities in cycling, infrastructure and carbon neutrality goals. Networks Germany implemented extensive solar energy use energy efficient building codes. Addressing the concern about the energy and climates. How does energy saving help fights global warming? Less energy use means reduce greenhouse gases emissions. What role can individual plays? Given action from recycling to reduce driving adds up. Are renewable resources renewable and enough? Technological advancement make renewable energy efficient and cost effective. Understand energy impacts and solutions, and adopt energy savings habits and support clean energy policy, inspire, encourage others, and contribute to communities initiatives. Small steps can provide global change and safeguard our planet.
Why don't we, please be seated. Another 2 minutes.
As we reach the end of this inspiring IIC event on energy conservation and global warming, I'd like to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude. First and foremost, a big thank you to our respected judges, Shubha ma'am and Sneha ma'am, for gracing this event with their presence and such keen insight. Your feedback and encouragement mean a lot to us. A huge round of applause for all our participants. Your creativity, confidence and commitment to the cause of sustainability truly lit up the stage today. Each of you brought a unique perspective and reminded us that change begins with awareness and action. Thank you all.
Okay, 1 second. Now that she told that will be giving the feedback and the encouragement. So let me tell you that the content-wise, all the content was really very good. Only thing is a little bit of improvement where presentation is concerned. The posture, the way you present it, it is just not reading out the slides there. You make the slides as precise as possible, bring up the explanation there. So that is what is expected from you. Otherwise, we are extremely happy the way all the presentations were made. So with this, probably we will be announcing the winners during the assembly, or prior hand will keep you informed so that you people can be present for receiving your prizes there.
Tomorrow.
Now that we have about 8 teams there, probably we will be choosing 3 teams as a winner, the first, the second and the third. That probably we will be announcing it very soon. Thank you all for your great participation.